men what they want as the flavor of the ice cream. So therefore, what happens is she ends up finding herself, here we go, 33, 36, 38, 42, 52, and no companion. Nobody's there. So instead of her facing the reality that she did not give the customer a chance to put in their request of their tailored ice cream, she decided to make a product and say, here, you're going to take it as is, whether you like it or not. So what ends up happening is the customers, which will be men in the story, will give her a 1 star or no stars at all, but she would give herself a 5 star based on her perception. And then there will be other women doing the same thing that will also give her a 5 star. So they have a circle of what would you call that? Cognitive dissonance, or of purposeful ignorance. Or you can also say no companionship availability, or you can also say a broken vassal. You can also say this makes them in the position of not being compatible to be in a relationship. The only ones, when they have this mindset, now listen carefully, the only ones who will line up for that situation is going to be a blue pill beta who's used to being told what to do. The Ralph in my academy would love to sign up. The dodo bird would love to be chirping in your corner. And the 3 women that I have in this academy will be the I Love Lucy, the Karen, and the Bewitch. She becomes the Bewitch over time. She becomes this girl to make you think that there's magic in their relationship, but it's nothing that he can actually do to contribute into her world that he's not already doing for himself, meaning he can vacuum his own floor, he can cook his own food. All right. He could, what do you call that? He can order somebody to come and do his laundry if he wants to, his dry cleaning. If he really needed somebody to watch his kids where there's no mother around, he has healthy daycare centers, probably healthy mentors, healthy people that come around and watch his daughter or his son while he's at work or while he's going around somewhere, as long as there's not a toxic female around. So it's not as if his life is going to disappear like The Color Purple. I brought that to your attention before, like The Color Purple. When Miss Seeley left the house, you found out that, I can't remember what his name was, but the guy was sleeping underneath the table with the liquor bottle. That's what movies put into your mind. That's not reality. That's not reality. Reality is when men are there without the woman, he actually does 2 times better because he began to do the task on his own. And he finds out it's actually easy. He figures out that bewitched him. And she put a spell on him to make him think that it was magic that she kept the house together. And it's not magic. It's something very simple. And it's a task that both people can do because both of us, we are supposed to be adults, right? It's just things that you do. It's not delegated to one person. It's just that, hey, we both are here in this house. It's a responsibility for the both of us. Whoever get it done, it really don't matter. Just get it done, right? You know, the clothes need to be washed. It don't matter. Just wash the clothes. Okay. The dishes are in the sink. It's piling high. You know, somebody's going to have to wash it. You understand? It's not delegated to a female or a man. Both people have the potential to decide who's going to do it one day or who's going to do it the other day, especially the cooking. There are some men out there, and I've tasted some very, very hot, fiery cuisine from men themselves that can make a mean meal. A mean pasta and put the seasoning on there just right, make you want to jump out of your chair and be like, dude, brother, what did you put in this seasoning that I never tasted before? This is amazing. Nothing that I've ever tasted before out of a female's cookbook or out of her cabinet. Men have that potential as well. So therefore, with their talent and their ability to be home chefs, some of them go to culinary art schools. Some of them can put an entree on your table to make you, it will make you want to pay for the food. And they're like, no, you're my guest. But no, do I have to pay for this? do I have to give you a tip? But you know what? It's because men are capable of doing it as well. So therefore, 24 hours, 7 days a week, he's not going to just want you to do the cooking. As a matter of fact, he would do it himself. He might wake up in the morning and flip some pancakes or put some whatever that y'all eat in the morning, eggs, bacon, cheese, and sausage, and You're smelling this food. You're like, wow, what is going on? And then what happens is the kids are running outside. They're playing, right? They already had their bath. They brushed their teeth. And here you are getting up out of bed. Your husband's downstairs in the kitchen with the apron on. Now you'll say, oh, this is a blue pill beta. No, because when you're not there, he's still going to be doing that. And check this out. If you are never there and it's him and his kids, he still is going to be downstairs in front of the stove cooking breakfast or food for himself and his children. And check this out. Let's go further. Even if the children isn't there, nor you, he is still, one way or the other, he's going to go in the kitchen, pull out a frying pan. He's going to get his cookware together, and he's going to get his drying towel, his wash towel. He's going to get ready, and he's going to go in. Do you understand? Now, it may not be a very fast, fancy cuisine. It may not be something that's a 5-star, worthwhile to sell type of eatery, because he's just eating it. It's for him and his likeness, but he has the potential. So I'm just going to say that's not magic. It's an equal partnership that it needs to be done. Somebody's going to do it eventually. Either you do it one day, he just might want to do it. It's not something that you're taking points. There's no such thing as a 50-50. Either you do it or you don't do it. You may not feel like doing it one day. So that's okay, because I was going to cook something anyway. I have an idea for the day because the daughter wanted to eat something like this, or my son had this type of idea. So I'm going to surprise him and have this dinner cooked for him when he comes home from school, or whatever the situation be. So this so-called tit for tat type of idea, it's childish. It's actually very high schoolish, and we are tremendously immature adults today to try to say this belongs to one person or that belongs to the other, because it needs to be done by both parties. Just sometimes one party can do it better than the next. And if that's your niche, do it. If you're better at it, maybe you want to do it because you're good at it. And you know how it needs to be done. You know how the Tupperware needs to be put together. You know how your dry cans need to be put in the cabinet or the cupboard. You know how you want your table to be set. You know how you want your kitchen to be clean. So therefore, maybe you delegate yourself to that task. That doesn't mean that is by your gender. That means you're just good at it, and it can be tit for tat. It can be him or it can be her. You got that? Now let's talk about the men for a moment here. When it comes to value, men value several things, and I'm just going to give you something very basic because it's a wide variety. It's actually an apparatus of so many things. Besides sports, besides cars, besides fascinating things, besides video games, or things that are manly. Besides outside heavy loads, heavy work, and physical activity. Okay? When it comes to the dating arena or the circle of women, it's very, very simple. It's complex. Don't get me wrong. It's complex, but it's very simple. The majority of them goes two ways. All right? One of the ways is how good the girl looks. That right there is a majority of men. How does she look? The second of them is not only how does she look, but what type of value, here we go, is the value that she is bringing into the relationship over time. See, the ones who just go by what the girl look like, most times they're going to be an immature blue pill type of dude. Most times this is the guy who will accept practically anything and throw his manhood down an alley somewhere. He don't care where it goes. As long as it goes into the jackpot, he's there. It don't matter. You just close your eyes and just hit that cue ball, and whatever ball goes in, like, oh, whatever, but he has to learn over time through maturity. When he begins to deal with red pill situations, when he begins to have enough experience with the female flesh and her mentality, her energy, and especially when he is receiving the red pill from leaders and professors like myself and others, he is going to seek for so much more. So therefore, now he's going to be seeking for a woman who is not only youthful, beautiful, capable, and attractive, whatever his preference is. Now he's going to be seeking for the woman to support him in his life. The original Adam and Eve-dom story for dummies. Okay, the original thing where you have this woman by your side. But of course, he has to go through the world of hard knocks in order to understand this. And he has to deal with the ups and downs and get the opportunity to filter out his own knowledge to discover himself so he can be the best version of himself to understand who the female flesh is. You got that? So therefore, eventually he will bypass the looks, and then he will start looking about what she can bring into the home. And one of the things that men will always look at, regardless of if he's red pill or blue pill, is what is it that she is putting on the table that's going to either make the relationship or break the relationship. And what it will fall down on, and this works both ways for men and women, it's called, here we go again, compromise. Are we willing to mold at the table? Are we willing to come together as a team and make something happen? You see that? So when it talks to value about what do women want? Now, here we go. Now you are going to be stunned with this, but it's not a surprise. And you would think that I'm playing a game against the women on this. You would think it's, oh, he's just hate women and oh, now he's become a misogynist. I don't want to listen to Morpheus anymore. No, slow down. Listen, as your pretend professor here in this academy, I do my research first before I open up my mouth and insert my shoe. Okay. You know, my size 14s don't taste all that well in my little bitty mouth. You understand? So therefore, I have to get the facts from both sides. And through history, through time, from the beginning of Adam and Evedom for dummies, for the kingdom that would never come for dummies, understand this. Okay? Men have been trying to evaluate what women wanted for a long time. There's been plenty of men that would always say, happy wife, happy life. There's been men that wanted to understand and say, well, women want rich men. Women want men with a potential to provide. Women want men who's tall, dark, handsome, have six figures, got a six pack. The list goes on. And of course it changes every now and then, but most times she has a set idea of what type of man that she wants. And so for a long time, men have been trying to provide that. They will work hard. They get their degrees. They'll make their money. And you do realize, if you haven't realized that, I don't know what type of earth and westernized civilization that you've been in, but you need to wake up. Okay. They will immediately find the first fresh female with a fresh, bright smile on her face to get down on one knee. I don't know why the hell he do this. And as a matter of fact, they'll be like, why are you doing this? To introduce himself to her as her blue pill Ralph the dog for the rest of his life. Okay. I know a lot of you mean, oh, that's not true, Morpheus. I'm married. You just hate her because you're not married. Well, you know what? We can have this conversation at a different time. And if I have to tell you in big, bold letters, I would do so because Morpheus don't shy away from pretty much nothing, especially you. Okay. Because if you don't like what I'm saying, that's your problem. I don't have a ring on my finger. Let you deal with the consequences. I'm smarter than that. This is by experience, this is by knowledge, and this is by understanding how the way the work works today. Too bad some of us live in a space bubble, in a circle where we think we are invincible to the weakness of the human flesh and the hypergamy machine. Okay, that's your problem, not mine. I'm just telling you exactly what it is. Because you decide to get down on one knee and propose your life away and give away all your resources, you end up getting clipped left, right, and in front of your face and don't care because you think you are the exception to the rule because you popular, you famous, or because you 6 feet tall. Okay, she would chop you down like any Johnny Green Giant and make you a 4 foot tall Ralph the dog, like she's done many a men for many of years. As soon as you close your eyes and you turn your back, since you think you so smart, you need to check your smartphone, which I call your dumb phone, and do your research, smarty. So what ends up happening is he ends up trying to do the best that he can to put a smile on her face. Men have been trying to figure out what is the value that women want. They've been doing that. They have been compromising. They've been giving their life resources and their time to make a family and a home. But because of the broken system, Because of the rise of liberation, because of the false sense of equality, the list goes on that I'm not going to talk about in this audio. You already know. I do not have to tell you what you know already. You are not a child, and I'm not going to speak to you like one. If you want to act like one, go to a different channel. I'm going to treat you like an adult. Do you get that? You know what's going on in this country. Don't play stupid with Morpheus. You wasn't born yesterday. Basically, because the dog was let out of the canal, or the kennel, as they call it, right? It has been lopsided. There has not been a sense of fairness. And as a matter of fact, men have been disenfranchised for their willingness and ability to try to figure out what women want, or you could say what the woman wants. All right. But because he was gullible, because he was blue pill, because he allowed himself to be a carpet for most women, I did not say all, for most women who only want to get a leg up or need a pedestal, he has been disenfranchised and been taken full advantage of. You got that? Because the value that men understand is the value of logical balance, meaning we have to figure out what we're going to do for tomorrow, what we're going to do for the children, what we are going to do in 10 years advance, in 12 years from now when this child grows up, or 18 years from now when this child is almost nearing an adult. Just because they're 18 don't mean they're an adult. That's just legal age in some countries and towns. Yeah, I said towns. I did say that. Okay. But mentally and physically mature, that's a different story. That requires life's experience. And that parent is still going to be there for their 18 or their 19-year-old child, whether they like it or not. And year to year, those children are getting they're getting much older, and the parents are getting older, and they have to take care of their older child because they haven't had the opportunity to mature, because we're living in degraded, de-evolved times. All right. Do your own research. Go use your sausage fingers, walk down there to a library and figure it out. Stop just tapping on Google. Google don't know everything. Take yourself to a library and pick up a physical book and open it and realize this for yourself. Or you could sit back and look at the magazines. Check out the magazines and the subjects that they talk about. Most things is about what? New devices, technology, how we can be progressive. How can we bring in more autonomy? How can we practically bombard you and your family with more unnecessary information than what you need? You don't need to know everything, and you don't need everything that the world have to offer, because it will bombard you. You have to understand simplicity is magic. Simplicity is magic. We don't comprehend that. I took and I'm going to make this small. I'm going to move on to something else when it comes to simplicity. I took my analog Lexus around a couple of my friends that were driving around in their technically advanced cars that I hate. You know, they want to go out of town. They want to, oh, you know, man, I'm gonna go golfing over here. You know, you want to be a pattern? Nah, I'm good. I don't even want to sit in your car. I don't want to touch it. I don't want to touch it. I don't want to be near your plastic heap of human degraded garbage. I'll do it myself. I can drive my own car with simplicity. And it's like, you know, look, man, you know, you can do this with your Lexus, man. You can get these aftermarket parts over here. You know, they got a computer, man. You can put this, what do you call that? This infotainment center, man. You know, what's on the call? You a couple of $1,000. I said, no, I'm good. I'm good with my simple radio. I'm good with my automatic windows. I'm good with being able to use my key, my natural key fob. I don't need your start-stop system. Save that for somebody who is old and elderly. I'm not old and elderly. I am young. I'm vibrant. I can use my own hands. I appreciate nature. I use my own eyes. I will use my own muscles today where I can't use my muscles. That might be a different story. But until then, I'm going to appreciate what nature gave me, and I'm going to be gratified with the life, and I'm going to appreciate it by using it. You understand? But once I stop using it, then I'm going to be a backwash retard like you who needs computers to think for them. Like, dang, Morpheus, you harsh. Yeah, I'm harsh, and I'm real, and I'm raw. If you don't like it, go somewhere else. I'll find another friend, somebody who's sensible than you. I'm good. Right? So we go to a park somewhere. I'm going to make this real fast. And we had to pull out, right? And we were done. I'm sitting there for like 20 minutes. Man, we got to get going. I got some other place to be. And I go directly to my Lexus, right? I got the key fob. I was getting ready to push the button. I said, nah, I'm gonna use the key. I put the key manually into the hole, unlocked it, boom, door, the car unlocked, beep, respond instantly. Took the key, put in the ignition, used my God-given, what do you call that, wrist. My God-given wrist, and turned the car, boom, fired up. There you go. You hear the exhaust. Ready to go. He get into his old plastic. I ain't gonna say what type of car he is, because he know who he is. He know who he is. So I'm not gonna say the type of car. I'm gonna be like, oh, you talking about me? Yeah, I'm talking about you, buddy. Yeah, buddy. So he gets into his car, right? He uses his key fob. Beep beep. I'm like, this dude, little boy. He get in there. He tried to push the stop system. No response. No response. I'm like, dang, are you okay? Like, oh man, no. Hold on. So he's sitting here fidgeting underneath the dashboard, trying to figure out if the battery's right, trying to understand what's going on. Computers start going glitchy, bug here, bug there, right? It's almost like he got to push like 5 or 6 different buttons just to turn his car on. I'm sitting there, my Lexus is already ready to go. It's already rolled up like, if this was an emergency, you will be stuck out here. If there was a Bigfoot or a ravaging bear, I'll be down the street in my analog, simple Lexus, and you in this computerized, complicated car that's going to get you terminated. Internally and externally. Internally, you're terminating yourself because you want to be lazy and have computers think for you. Externally, it's going to get you eventually because it's overly complicated and unnecessary, and it's going to catch up to you eventually because you're making a sacrifice. Whenever you make a sacrifice to use your human superiorities and your faculties for computers, nature is going to make you pay. Let me say that again where you can understand. When you use computers or machines to bypass your physical human ability, you're going to pay the price eventually, because nature is going to take away what it has gave you naturally, because it's going to realize you don't appreciate your nature, and it's going to give you exactly what you want and make you exactly what you make, and that is a computer walking automaton. Do you understand, or do I have to speak it in a different language so you can understand that? So it's going to get you eventually. So like, you know what, dude, I'm out of here. So I end up driving away. Like I get like, I think a quarter mile down the street or something like that. So I get a phone call. I had to pull over to the side by one of the other buddies. Oh yeah, man, he figured out, man, it was this button over here. And, it just started going bad. So we had to go ahead and switch it to a different one. He had to switch his keys around. I'm like, oh my God. Are we that technically stupid today? When cars have been working for a long time with a simple key, if you got a key fob, that might be fine if you want to walk up to the car and dislodge the security system. But when you overcomplicate a thing, you're going to suffer. Don't take Morpheus's word. Don't take it. Don't worry about what the professor's saying. I can guarantee you're going to meet it yourself. One way or the other, you're going to find yourself, if you're not going to be in a ditch somewhere where you can't pull the car out, the car is going to put you in a ditch by putting you on the side of the road, and AAA is going to come to pick you up in your fancy new self-driving car because you can't drive yourself. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. I had to go on a rant with that.